everybody. So in today's video and in my first video in my channel, I'm going to explain you the user preferences of the Autocad that you can choose, so you can make your work much easier and much simpler, and the ways of how to use different lines, circles, arc, hatches, how to modify to put dimensions and things like that. Since the videos are going to be like very long, I'm going to split them in different parts. So this is going to be the first part of my video, and in here we're going to see the user preferences and the basics of building the main structure of a foundation detail. So I'm going to have a foundation detail, and I'm going to make it through to build it by myself, so you can see very easily which are the basics comments that we are going to be used while working on the AutoCAD. We click with the right button and we go to options. As you see, like only when the normal program opens at the beginning, you will see that the display is like a dark color, but like I would choose this open gray color because like it is better for the eyes, I think. So after you right click and go to options, let me do it again. Right click, options. The first thing that it will pop, it will be the display. So on the display you go to the window elements, and in here you have the colors. And for the uniform background, which in my case I choose color 9, but you can do it as you wish. For example, go to select color and I will just choose color 9 and click OK. And if you want to go to crocheters, you go to crocheters, which is like the line which is placed in all over the drawing, and in my case it is black. For example, you can use it white as you see it in here, but let's choose black for the moment. And also another important thing, it is the crochet size. I prefer the crochet size 100 because like on the beginning I think it's like 5, and let's see what happens. Like this is the crochet size that you got, so you are not able to fully cover all your drawings. So what I prefer is like to have the crochet size like 100, and you see you can move it very easily, and you can direct it, and you can, it helps you a lot in a different way, but still this is your personal choice. What I prefer is like to go to right click customization, and on the beginning I think that this thing it would be turned off, but I would like to turn off the sensitivity of the right click. So what it does is like this thing that I'm going to show. So like if you click just fast like one time, you will see that you will have immediately this table right here. But if you want to get this dialog box in here, you have to keep your button a bit pressed, like let's say just a bit, like 1 second, and you will have this dialog box in here. But if you just click immediately, you will have the options table right in here. So this is the basic general introduction about the preferences of a user, which I would like this one because it is better in my opinion. The first thing that we are going to do, it is build the main structure of this foundation. So what do we see at the beginning? It is that we have like a rectangle with base 600 and the height 200 millimeters. Important to know it here in here is that the scale is 1 to 10. So first let's start drawing a rectangular. So remember, always the base it is first. So you put 600, you put comma or tab, it doesn't matter, and you put the height to 100. So here we have it. I will put it close to here so we can follow the rules quickly. So we can follow it very quickly. And if we want to know from the picture, we see that this is an MH200 block, which means that, let's see, that the measures of these blocks are 200 by 200 in each. Yes, for sure it is 200. 200. So first let's start by drawing another, it's not a rectangle but this is a square, so we have 200 comma 200. And now that we use, like, I don't know, the rectangulars because squares, because it is very easy to put them in the center together. So like if I want to move this block and I want to put it in here in the middle of this one, I just select it. By selecting, you click in here, for example, once, and you select from right to the left, and that's how do you select a figure. And now you go with a right click, you go to move, and in here you see that it asks for a base point to select. In here we have different base points. We have this one, the middle one, and the other base point. So since we want the middle, we're going to connect the middle of this square with the middle of this triangle, and we go in here. But in many cases, most of the users that are at the beginner level, they are going to have some problems with the midpoint, and that's why, because if they go in here to this little downside triangle, they're going to see that this midpoint is missing. So if I have this missing, let's see what happens. Let's see, I got a line in here and I do not have like a middle in here. For example, let's try to move it. We cannot move it because the end point, it is not here. So for that reason, the midpoint should be selected in this part. And now as we see in this picture, we have like 1 2 3 4, actually 5, but this is not a concrete block, so we're going to use, but let's do like 5 concrete blocks on top. So we already done 1 2 3 4. We have left to do like 4 concrete blocks, and the most easier way it is by selecting the rectangular and going with the right click. And in here we see that we got a lot of different options, but what we are interested in, it is the copy selection. So let's go to copy selection, clicking, and it asks for a base point to be selected. So what I usually recommend to select it is this point in here if we want to put the blocks on top of each other, because let's say I choose this endpoint and now I have it very easy to connect with another one. We have like another one in here, 3 4 5. So basically this is the structure of our detail that we need to do. So let's measure it, how much it is, so we can figure it out. It is 50, as it is shown in here. It will be like, I think, I don't know, like insulation, hard insulation, yes, probably. And for that reason, I'm going to show you like one of the most easiest way to do that. So let's start by drawing a line. We draw a line from the top to here. Nope, my mistake. To here. So now we have this line, and we can only select this line. And now I'm going to present it with another command, which is very important, and it is offset. Offset. Since the distance from here to here is like 50, it asks us to specify the offset distance. We specify 50 and we press enter. After we done that, we go on the right side and we have this one which is offset at like 50. And now, since we don't need this one, we can delete it. Now let's go with the upper part of our wall structure. So what are we going to do first is that we are going to put the what are we going to do, it is only we're going to put the basic lines of these these things. So first let's see the measures of these layers. In here we have 28 panels. We have like, I think, 32mm gap. So let's do a line. It doesn't matter the height, it should be straight, like let's say 700, and the angle should be, you can go and use with tab like 90 degrees. So first we had to make like these ventilation gap 32mm, and then we have I think 28 UTV panels. So what we are going to use, it is offset, which is this command in here. So let's go and put 32mm. So now we offset from the left, since this is the thing that we want. And always in this point I want to mention that if you want to escape, or you don't want to use a specific command, you can press escape, and on the left bottom corner you are going to see that it says that command, it is cancelled in here. Now we'll go again offset, and we need to use 28 offset. Now we offset it, and we got the first structure of our wall. And also we go on with others. So the most important thing is that we know what is the length of that. So we have the 1mm gap, so we go offset 9, and now we go in here. After 9, I know for sure that this is, I think, 100 and let's check, double check. I think it is 148. Yeah, 148. It is installation plus frame. We go to offset 148. We offset this line in here. We offset this line in here. Then we have yeah, 50mm offset again. Nope. Yeah, I think it's good. 50mm, and this one it is 13. That's offsetted with 13. As you see in here, the shape it's not perfect, but we'll go through it. We are going to get it, don't worry. But there is a small problem, I would tell, because as we see from the drawing, we have that this block here is like 150mm. So let's create another block. We use rectangular, this time it is a square. We go 150, tab or comma 150, and we got our square in here. So now we want to move it, so we select, as I told you, right click, move, specify this base point, because we wanted to move it that in here. Yeah, and just with a simple line you can place it that above here. Cool. And for example, if you want to delete only this line in here, if you want to delete this line, you can do it in this way. First, what we're going to use, it's going to be use the explode option. You just press that, you select the object and press enter. So if we see, we got only single lines now, and what we can do, it is select that one and delete. And this was all for today's video, so thank you very much guys, and see you on the next part of our foundation details. We're going to go much deeper. Thank you, bye bye.